need to remind you,
Yes.
I like Chad.
Oh, yes, I know.
I reminded you that one time before, and you thought I was being ironic.
Yeah, I always think you're lying to me. Whenever anyone says I like Chad, I go, that's a good joke. I mean, it's fun.
I see Chad as like a misunderstood monster. He's Frankenstein, right? And you and Melton and Tukey and Cardiff, you guys are all the villagers, poking and prodding.
Yeah. And we're like, hey,
Until he goes mad.
You want to touch this torch? And we're like putting it towards his face, and he's getting upset about it. Well, Adam decided to go on Chad's show. And of course, Chad has taken this off the internet. You know, you have to be members only or whatever to see the whole thing. But thanks to my buddy Rocco, who subscribes to Chad's channel, we were able to get this so that Adam could show us some of the highlights of when you were on with a special edition of Cumia's Cucks.
Yes. Yes, he was very proud of it at first. He tweeted about it. He told everyone to check it out. I don't know what changed his mind. I'm glad that you two are friends because nothing mean happens in this interview. It's just a conversation. If he happens to reveal himself, that's on him. But no one is mad to him. In fact, we're going to open with a clip here that involves him really getting one over on me. And it's worth noting because it's the only research he did for the entire interview was just setting up this one question.
And I really wanted to talk to you because I saw you on Jake Hudson's show, and then I saw you on Quadfather's show, and I go, this Adam Busch used to be somebody. If this was an True Hollywood story, this would be like when, I remember I watched Jan Michael Vincent when he hit rock bottom. When I saw you on Quadfather, I was like, what happened to this guy?
Is that the question?
No, I'm just saying, like, what made you go on Quadfather's show?
All right, I got to back that up real quick because he stopped talking and you went, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
I like how Adam's unshaken. Just
Was that the question?
Straight face,
No, I'm just saying,
doesn't give
like,
him anything.
what made you go on Quadfather's show?
The same thing that made me go on your show.
Perfect answer. I love he thinks he's better than Quadfather's BYB.
Yeah. And I guess because I was nice to Jake, he thought he could be comfortable and that he could possibly get one over on me. He calls his show Cumia's Cucks.
Yes.
So he's inviting an actor on to maybe plug a TV show or something on Cumia's Cucks.
Yeah, what do you think this is?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean to someone, and why would they ever want to be on a show with a name like that? So I ask him, what does that mean, Cumia's Cucks? And he has a great answer.
Yeah, he is a Cumia cuck. He does ball wash Shuli, but he's never done anything to me. Shuli's always been nice to me. All those other guys have been really shitty to me. That's how this all came together. And the one common thread is they're all ball washing Cumia, Anthony Cumia. So he's mad that I won't cover Shuli like I do other people. So he took it personal and then picked me off.
So the way to be a Cumia's cuck is nothing to do with Cumia. It has to do with how they feel about you at the time.
Because, you know, this has been an often debated topic where this is why Kevin Brennan and him had a falling out, because Kevin Brennan hates Shuli, and Chad won't include Shuli into the Cumia's Cucks when you think about how often Anthony is on the Uncle Rico show. Mm-hmm. It's like weekly at this point. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't he be in there with Chrissy Mayer and me and all the other Cumia's Cucks?
Because he doesn't have any friends, and he doesn't know what being a friend even means.
Okay, that actually checks out. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Is Shuli his last hope, maybe? Because he's been exiled from every other pod. So
Shuli's always been good to him. They tried to start a show together. They tried to start a watch along or to catch a predator, and then it was immediately copyright struck. So that was like Chad's big in with the Shuli Network, and he was gonna have a show with them, and then never mind, that's not gonna work. We can't watch that stuff. You want to set up the next clip, Adam?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's interesting. He goes back and forth, like he's saying, on whether he's all of this is wrestling, it's WrestleMania, or it's real, and he doesn't know the answer, except maybe when it's about anybody else, it's fake, and when it's about him, it's real.
Well, you know, there's a level of performance to this.
There
you know, there's a little pro wrestling to it, a little, you know, over the topness. They like it. It's drama, it's silliness. So when I'm acting mad, I'm really not mad. I'm just having fun, having a good time. I'm a good performer. I might not be SAG like Adam Busch, but I can I can do a little something on the side. I can do a little acting, if you will.
As it were. I love that. Doesn't that kind of ruin the entire shtick of Chad, where he just goes, oh yeah, I'm just making make-believe over here. Like, oh, so we shouldn't take any of this seriously? I thought this was like you were spitting the truth.
Yeah, no, and that's why I accuse people of like really serious crimes, because that's really funny.
This is your buddy, Brian. Do you want to stick up for him at this point?
I don't know what to say.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, there's nothing to say, because at this point, he's thinking, this is going great. He's answering everything honestly, and he means what he says. Why would he defend Cumia if the person did nothing to him? It doesn't make sense to him, so he says it out loud.
Yeah, and the next clip that you pulled here is when he explains that sometimes it is real, though.
Well,
even though he just said, it's a performance, it's professional wrestling, he's a great actor.
I went to his house.
See, you say these things are a show and it's all fun, and then they're real. And then the feelings are real, and the accusations of crimes and things are real.
Yeah, when he calls Cape Coral Police Department on it, that's real. When I get my gig canceled, that's real. When my Patreon goes away, when $25,000 a year goes away, that's real.
So you and KB, it's kind of WrestleMania, but you and John, it's real.
No, Kevin and I have the best analogy I can use, and it's been often brought up, is we have a very Jesse Pinkman, Walter White friendship. Breaking Bad. It's like,
but without the money.
Without the money or the mouth.
This fucking Pinkman's a real fucking Pinkman.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter, because no matter what the scenario is, he's a hero. That's what he is. He's heroic, and his quest is noble.
I think that was at my peak Mudshark. That was at the top of things were going well, and then it all became a thing. And here I am, fighting back still, a man alone on a hill with a sword. As I like
are they fighting against you still?
Not really. No. Carl's actually backed off. Chrissy won't even mention my name. Aaron wants to be friends with me. He's trying to be allies with me because I'm not friends with Patrick Melton or Nick Rekieta. So he's desperately trying to build this bridge between us, and I refuse to let it happen. I don't want to partner up with him. I haven't forgotten. I still hold a grudge.
I think it's an apocalypse now that they find that guy, like years after the war is over, but he's still in the hole.
Yeah.
And they can't convince him, like it's done, they can't get him to stop. That guy's not the hero of the movie.
so brilliant. I love the thing where he's just like, yeah, so these guys, they're all still fighting every day, right? Oh, Chrissy Mayers brought me up in 2.5 years. Yeah. What are we doing here? Why is that still the topic of this show?
And there was also the subtle implication of like, I have too many friends. I got so many friends. Right. Everybody wants me to be their friend.
Yes. And actually, speaking of Chrissy Mayer, the next clip that you have on here, he's talking about when we did Content House in Orlando back in 2022. And there was a comedy show at the local comedy club there that Chrissy and a bunch of the people who were staying at this club, Gino was there, and we're doing this stand-up show. And Chad, leading up to that, kept threatening to come to the show and fuck it up. He's like, I know the owner there, and I play there all the time. They're going to let me in, and I'm just going to sit by the side of the stage and heckle. And he was emailing me day of the show. He was texting Gino day of the show. I will see you guys tonight. All these threats and everything that were coming in. And then, like the cry bully he is, was shocked when people didn't want him at the venue.
The show, they had me banned from the venue, even though I worked that venue.
How do they have you banned from the venue?
They contacted the booker, Dave Stroop, the GM, Krista, saying we don't feel safe with him coming here. They actually thought I was going to do something crazy. So they said, we don't want him here. We want him banned. And they banned me. And I took it. It was
this before or after the catalytic converter thing?
This was after.
Okay. So maybe they had a point.
It's all nonsense. It really is. But yeah, so.
You just said it was real. You just said this was the real part.
It's real. I was banned, 100%. And I took that very personal because they didn't work me afterwards. So I think they're like, what the hell's going on with Chad? Where people are afraid of him. So like, I don't think we can book him. But luckily I was just there with my buddy Nick Swartzen, so everything's smoothed over, but it took 1.5 years. So.
I mentioned that I know the catalytic converter story.
Yes.
And he thinks I haven't heard that he opens for Nick Swartzen. He thinks he hasn't mentioned that.
Well,
and he's going to drop that and just smooth everything over.
Well, I think that was an interesting, I don't know if I've heard that story before, that this was a place he said he played regularly. And then when, obviously, Chrissy and Frank said, hey, can we make sure that Chad's not allowed in here because he's been threatening to fuck this show up? They stopped booking him because they're like, oh, Chad seems like he's a problem. Maybe they even asked around to some other clubs, who knows? And but then Nick Swartzen got him back into that club. He validated it. So he's got his daddy. Chad's got his daddies that help him out with these things, keep his career going.
Do they?
Yeah. I mean, we just heard he did a Wednesday night in Colorado because he was there with Nick Swartzen. He wouldn't have gotten that gig otherwise. It's very impressive.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being an opener. I think an opener is still a gig. He is a working
Hey,
comic.
listen, I'm a host of the Creep Off. We were the opener, so I think that's awesome. I think being an opener is amazing out here.
Is the Z-Man just looking for love and acceptance?
Yes.
Like if everybody sort of like turned and they were like, you know what, you're not that bad, Chad. Let's do some stuff together. He'd be into it.
100%. In fact, I think that's what Adam showed us, where it was just like, oh yeah, this is just for show, and you know, we're just playing an act. I'm just a pro wrestler.
That's a defense mechanism, though, right? Like he's saying that so that if anybody were to call him out on it, he could say the opposite.
Brian, he sent a tape in here today to Tukey Soup, thinking that he was going to be a part of the bit.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, he thought he was Rocco's buddy for a second there. Oh, Rocco.
He gets fooled more than Stuttering John.
He does, yes.
And he admits it regularly. He just won't admit that he's wrong. Ever.
All right. The next clip on here, I think we talked about this being the broken clock.
Yes, well, sometimes he's right. Every once in a while, he makes a point. This is a standalone clip.
It's all very weird, but I don't know. Gonzo says, how long until Chad turns on Adam for Adam giving him honest, fair opinion and analysis of this interview on WATP? Over and under 3 days? Hashtag Chad Nation. Are you going to Hackamania?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You are?
I am.
Okay, so this guy's looking forward to seeing you at Hackamania.
Oh, John O'Reilly. See you there. Say hi.
Are they paying you? They should. I've been very public saying Carl better be paying you on that show. I don't know what your situation is, but you better be getting money from these guys because I think you bring something to the table. You obviously have somewhat of a name. Like you have a little star power, a little something. So I don't know what your situation is, but you better be getting paid.
I mean, I see why he's your friend. He's not a bad friend.
You know? Now you see it.
Fucking guy. This was all for this moment right now. Now we got to renegotiate the contract just because your stupid appearance with Chad Zumock. By the way, after this, you go on to say you thought guests should be paid on podcasts as well. Do you believe that to be true?
I think everybody that participates should be paid something. Absolutely.
Do guests of the Tonight Show get paid for that?
Yeah, they get like $400 or $500. You get a union minimum of a day rate.
And don't you get a sweet gift basket, too?
You do. You get a lot of little gifts. And it's the Tonight Show, so lots of people see it.
So, all right, I see what you did there. That was a nice dig. I'll tell you what, Adam. How do you feel about this T-shirt? This could be your gift basket.
I know for a fact that cost more than a lot of people here made tonight.
Yes, that's a very good point.
It's a very expensive shirt. Anything on Fremont.
You know, this fucking guy sends me the timestamps. I pulled the clips. I could have just not. Oh, I missed number 7. I'm sorry.
Oh, I see.
didn't even see that out there. My bad.
That's why we have a script.
Right. All right, so
there's a subtext going on here. There's a subtext underneath all of this, which is that his heart is broken, Chad, because he's dealing with a breakup.
Yes.
In a similar way that Nick Rekieta is. There's a bit of denial and a bit of holding on. He's holding on for KB. He thinks it's going to happen. And I explained to him that he sounds like a bitter ex-lover. And he explains to me why I'm wrong.
Like, he thinks I'm joining the network. I'm not. I'm not even going on their shows, so I don't understand where this beef or riff is. I will say this little fallout with Kevin is not as bad as it used to be. This is actually very managed.
You sound like an abused wife.
Yeah.
This is what they say, and you are defending getting beaten by saying, well, it's a little less this year, hoping for a good Christmas.
but he didn't mean it. No. I don't know.
Fell down the stairs. I get it.
I mean, I would be lying.
Why are you wearing those shades, Chad? Let's see it. Let's see it, buddy.
Farrah Fawcett bruises.
It's not your fault, Chad. It's not your fault.
Did he just throw out a burning bed reference? He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a weird relationship between Pinkman and, KB and Chad Zumock. They're just on again, off again, on again, off again, like that annoying couple in high school. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, just fucking figure it out already. I don't want to know what's going on. I have to know what's going on.
Do you think it's a work? Is KB just keeping him at a distance for a certain amount of time because he has this other star power like Carmex and Cano?
With KB, I think everything's a work.
Yeah.
Right?
None of it seems real with him.
No. No one would live their life that way unless they were mentally, oh, wait a second. Maybe it's not a work. Maybe Kevin Brennan is mentally ill.
KB has made it clear that he will not tolerate Chad if he doesn't hate Shuli. And I asked Chad on this episode, what would KB have to do to get you to just leave him alone? And he couldn't come up with anything. There's nothing the man could do to him that would humiliate him enough to stop loving him.
It's amazing.
Yep. It's really sad. And now his paranoia starts to creep in.
Oh, yeah. This is
which
great.
I enjoy.
Don't know. Maybe you take this to Hackamania this weekend and you guys, do a
and
whole thing.
What would I do? What would my take on this be? How would I get you?
I don't know. You could be a mastermind. Maybe you got plans. I don't know. Maybe you and Carl are up to something. See, now I'm paranoid.
Yeah, that's what I started this conversation with, that you refuse to believe that it could be based on something that happened in this conversation. If this goes badly, it's because you're a victim and a pawn in a massive conspiracy that's set up to keep you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds more, I like where you're going with this. This is where...
That feels more comforting? You like that?
Yeah, that's where I want to be like, that's where I want this to go.
I think he might be a regular on this show. I wouldn't be surprised.
He thinks it's going great. I don't know why all these opinions have to leave once I leave, because he'll feel very differently on Monday.
I loved when he asked if you're going to be at Hackamania, and you're like, am I going to be at Hackamania? Like, yeah, I'm on WATP. WATP is on Hack. What do you mean? Like, why would you ask that? Of course. Yeah. I'm going to Hackamania.
Because he was hoping that this wouldn't happen.
Right,
it's happening right now.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
It's a good point.
He told me he watched this episode, and he doesn't rarely watch them, but he did watch this one, and he thinks it's fine. He thinks it went great, and there's nothing I could do, and I can play whatever I like, which is great. Because at this point now, what you're seeing is I'm starting to get bored, and in this next clip, I'm like, hit me. Come on, just hit me.
Chad, nice prep. Did you think of reading Wikipedia?
It would have helped. It would have helped.
Dan. Thank you, Dan.
Anything. You made the poll. You could have read the IMDb ad.
I could have. Reverend Billy, I'm glad Kev took over Cumia's Cucks, Chad. You're not doing job. Adam, Shuli, Carl, Chad's birds of the feather flock together. Chad, you let us down. No, I didn't. This guy's...
Well, I mean, if they expected you to be giving me the business and embarrassing me or simply getting me on where I'm wrong, you're welcome to do that at any point. I don't want to alienate you from your audience.
I've been watching you from afar. Chad's in love. No, I pay attention. You have to. My head's on a swivel over here. The poll is up, dipshit.
His head's on a swivel. I think everything about Chad is summed up by that first interaction. A supporter of him gave him money and said, buddy, you let me down. And his response was, no, I didn't. Next question.
Right, yes. But I do love when you put him on the spot and you go, yeah, maybe you're not conducting this interview correctly because you probably should be burying me. You want to start now? Chad's like, oh, shit, yeah. No. I don't know what to do.
I'm good.
So then you leave, and now Chad's trying to reconcile in his mind how it went, and if he did a good job, and if you were trolling him, or if you guys got along and you're buddies now. Mm-hmm. And so that's the last clip we have here.
We learned Nick in Fort Wayne knew. We learned he knew. They learned I knew. Let's just say I have a cameo at Hackamania this weekend. I'll just leave it at that. We learned that Adam trolled you, and I'm sorry you didn't see it. No, Doodle, he didn't. How? How did he troll? How? I learned Adam agrees with KB about paying guest. Pineapple. What else did we learn? I learned Adam is a fan of mine on this interview anyway. He's aware of you, Tom Myers. He's aware of you. We're all aware of you. You learned Kevin is about to go full mental after this interview. I don't know what's going to happen.
He does.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Was Kevin unhappy with this interview? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he railed for like a couple hours. Called me a clown.
That's it?
That's all he had. And he said there's no way we had worked on this one project together because I told a story of being in an elevator with him, and he said there are no elevators in Los Angeles.
I remember that.
He got me really good. And it's worth noting that Tom Myers chatted in there because I'm going to be interviewing him on Tuesday morning, 9 a.m.
All right. So you got booked on Tom Myers' show?
Well, I'm going to do it with Husey.
Oh, Husey.
So what could possibly go wrong?
So it's on Husey's channel.
It is.
Awesome. Well, that's very exciting. Tom Myers is so happy when people know who he is. Mm-hmm. Until he finds out that people know who he is.
Until he finds out they have opinions.
Yeah, then he's like, oh shit, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Well, how do you think it went with Chad, Adam? What was your assessment of it?
I thought it went great. He was a nice, honest guy. He was.
Yep.
He let his chat say all the mean things he wanted to say, but couldn't, and he really let them go. In a way that, as if I was stupid, he would put it up and read half of it and go, I don't even know. Is this okay? Now that we're halfway through it, and I'm asking you to finish it, is this okay?
Yeah.
I don't know, Chad. I haven't read it yet. So I think it was fine. I think he needs to maybe not do Cumia's Cucks anymore and reinvent himself as something else, because being this mean Mudshark character is not him. He's too sensitive for it.
You don't think he makes a good heel?
I think I love to hate him, but he's not a natural, he's too sensitive for it. Or is that every supervillain origin story? Is that what it's supposed to be?
That is.
Yeah, you're right.
Usually.
I see what you're saying. So yeah, he has the makings then of being a very, very big monster.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it.
Who are these